Have you ever wondered why fear grips us so tightly and how one can overcome it? This is a question that resonates with each of us because fear, in its many forms, is a universal human experience. It can be a formidable obstacle, limiting our potential and hindering our progress. Yet, there's a tool within our reach that can help us confront and overpower fear. It's called faith. But what if I told you? There's a way to conquer your fears, and it's not as complicated as you might think. Meet John, a man who was once crippled by his fear. Fear had been a constant companion, looming over him like a dark, oppressive cloud. It was always there, lurking in the corners of his mind, feeding him a steady diet of what-ifs and buts. Fear whispered tales of failure and disappointment, and John listened, allowing these tales to shape his life. John's fears were many and varied. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of the unknown. These fears held him back, kept him from exploring new opportunities and reaching for his dreams. His world became smaller and smaller as he allowed his fears to dictate his choices. He was living, yes, but it wasn't much of a life. Then came a day when John could no longer bear the weight of his fear. He was tired of living in its shadow, tired of letting it control him. Desperate for change, John turned to the one source of strength he knew could help him: God. He sought God's guidance, praying for the courage to face his fears. God answered John's prayers in a way he had not expected. His fears didn't disappear overnight, no. But John found a new strength in his faith, a strength that gave him the courage to face his fears head on. He began to see his fears not as insurmountable obstacles, but as challenges to be overcome. John's life started to change. With God's help, he confronted his fear of rejection and began to build meaningful relationships. He faced his fear of failure and started taking risks, opening himself up to new opportunities. And as for the fear of the unknown, John learned to trust in God's plan, to have faith in the journey even when he couldn't see the destination. John's transformation was nothing short of miraculous. He was no longer the man crippled by fear, but a man empowered by his faith. He was living proof of what can be achieved when we confront our fears with courage and faith. John's life was never the same again. He had faced his fears with faith and emerged victorious. Now, you've heard John's story. What about yours? It's time to look inward, to identify those fears that may be anchoring you down. Are they holding you back from reaching your full potential? Perhaps, like John, you might find strength in faith. It's about harnessing this faith, using it as a beacon to guide you through the dark tunnels of your apprehensions. Face your fears with faith. Remember, you are never alone in your battles. God is with you always. Having been enlightened by John's story and our call to action, it's time to spread this light. If this video resonated with you, if it stirred something within you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who might be in need of this motivation, someone who might be battling their own fears. But before you do that, we'd love to have you on board for more inspiring stories and empowering messages. Subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our future videos. And if you found value in this video, give it a thumbs up. Your support means the world to us. Until our next journey into the human spirit together, stay blessed, stay strong, and remember, you are never alone in your battles.